All right, so yesterday we looked at our trigonometric ratios, which are just like formulas, really. And remember, and it was all to do with, and we know the quick way to remember them is SOHCAHTOA, okay? And we know that you can only use them on a right angle triangle. So if we've got a right angle triangle. And we looked at how we label up those triangles. So today we're going to look at how we can use those formulas to find a side in the triangle when we don't know it. So what we're going to do is our first step is, so if we write our first step is to label our triangle, yeah? So we're going to label triangle. So what I'm going to do, what I mean by that is I'm going to label up all the sides. So I often find it's easier to label up the hypotenuse first, which is opposite that 90 degrees. Because then we have to look at where the angle is, and we then know the side opposite that angle they gave us is going to be the opposite, and the one next to it is called the adjacent. All right. So we've labelled our triangle, and then the second step is you need to choose the formula or the ratio. Choose correct ratio, which is, these are the ratios up here, okay? So what we do, how we can do that is often you can just like go, right, you look at which one you've got. You've got 58, You've got 58, so you've got that one, and X is one that we need. So we know we need to have one of the rules that has A and O in it. So you look up at your SOHCAHTOA, and which one has A and O in it? Tan, good. So once you know what formula you've got, you're going to write it out. So choose the correct ratio. So tan theta equals opposite over A. Okay, so we write that out. And then the third step is we're going to substitute the values into the ratio or the formula. Okay, so what do I mean by substitute?
Replace the letters with the...
Yep. Good. So replacing those symbols in our formula with the actual numbers. So tan is actually 29. The angle is actually 29. Now O is X and A is 58. Okay. And then the fourth step is you're just going to solve on your calculators. So fourth step is solve on calc. On calc. I'm changing that to purple so you know that's the calculate step. All right, so we're going to change solve on our calc. So because you always have your graphics calculator, and in general maths, we are not testing your algebraic skills, meaning we don't need you to have to rearrange that to find, so it's an X equals. That's not a skill we're testing. We are just looking that you can pick you're using the right formula and you're substituting the right values in. That's all we are looking for. So once you get to this bit, we can use our graphics calculator and we can use our solve function. So you can write solve, you can type out that formula, and then you just write comma X, and then we will get an answer. So we're going to do that in a minute. So just to refresh our memories, does everyone remember how to get solve on our calculator? We can press menu and a 3-1. I think it's menu, algebra, and then you'll get solve. And remember, if you need the division sign, it's control, what was it? To get the division fraction symbol, it's control divide.
Is that comma X?
And that, comma X. And then remember, we get this tan using the trig button. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video and it didn't say how many decimal places, so I'm just going to do 2. So I get 32.15. And there's no units on this triangle, so I'll just leave it like that. So there's my answer. All right, so now we've done one. Let's do the other one a little bit quicker. So my first step is to label the triangle. So hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent. Okay, so which rule am I using? It's the same one, isn't it? Tan. So we're going to use tan theta equals O over A. So you should always write your rule first. Then we'll do the substitution. So tan 43 equals 8 over x. Now we solve it in our calculator. You don't need to write out like that you're doing solve. So really all you need on your paper is what's in black. What's in purple is me helping you to show what you need to put in the calculator, yeah? So let's do that one. All right, so I ended up with x equals 8.58. So our first step is to label our triangle. So the hypotenuse, I've got this would be the opposite and this would be the adjacent. So because I'm on a new page, I'm just going to write SOHCAHTOA up the top to make sure I pick the right formula. So if you look, I've got A and I need to find the hypotenuse. So which one has A and H in it? Car. Good. So that means the formula I'm going to use is cos angle equals A over H. So remember the first letter mentioned in the SOHCAHTOA, the second letter mentioned in the SOHCAHTOA is the letter on top in that fraction part. Then I'm going to substitute in, and it's 58 equals 20 over x. And then obviously I can go to my calculator, I can use my solve function, and I'm going to get what x equals. Yep, so we get 37.74 is my answer, and there we go.